Chicano Ideas YouTube channel. That's me, Rudy Tecolo, aka Famous Wolf. Look up my Instagram, famouswolf.24. My Facebook is under Chicano Community. Always give me a like, share your thoughts on the comments. And if you never have, go check out some of my old videos that I've done. So I want to just talk about another moment in life that I remember. Now in 7th grade, I remember I played. I wanted to play sports, and I never really got into sports. I did my Pop Warner year. I always had athletic capability. So, my 7th grade year, like in PE, I always got an A+. Like I could be failing math, English, all these other classes, but in PE, I always had an A, no matter what. A+, I think I've had before. So, one thing I've always learned is never, if you have a skill, never be afraid to use your skill. Never be afraid of something that you're good to do and something that you're able to just do that others can't. And I have athleticism, and in PE, I would run my miles. I would come in first place. I love to play soccer, football, all that, etc. And so, for me, I stood out. My 6th grade year when I started middle school, I was killing the mile runs. I was the only 6th grader. I was the 6th grader leading the pack, besides me and this Russian 6th grade kid going back to back, like with times, and but I was up there killing it, hanging with the 8th graders, 7th graders on my mile times. And my 7th grade year comes around, and in that PE class, which was third period, I'll never forget. We had all the hoodlums, like all the homies were there, from the brothers to the Mexicans. We was all there, like we would act dumb as hell. And then that year, my 7th grade year, I started acting retarded. I stopped after the first quarter or two. I stopped running. Like I would start walking. I was playing around. I wasn't taking PE serious like I do because I got that athletic capability, and so I would just smash it just because I can. And so I was just messing up that whole year. And my PE teacher, he was getting frustrated at me. He was getting mad, like, Rudy, what are you doing? What is your problem? Why are you walking on the runs when you could be the first one done? You could finish this run in 7 minutes this mile. Why are you walking? Why are you acting this way? Like, he started getting irritated with me over as the weeks go by. And so in the second semester, we have at my middle school like an Olympic style tournament where we could pick teams of who we want, and we compete like the Olympics. We do track and field and hurdles and all that. The throw of the ball. And so that year, I remember that another PE teacher, he was like, "Hey Rudy, just go over there for now," because I didn't have a team. And my PE teacher, he was like calling. He's like, "Rudy, where are you going? What are you doing? Why are you walking away?" He's like, "Man," he's like, "I'm so sick of the way you're acting." He's like, "You think you could just do whatever you want? You're just walking off and doing whatever you want." I'm like, I started yelling back. I'm like, "Nah, Mr. Washington told me to go over there. Like, what are you talking about?" And he looks at Mr. Washington. He's like, "Yes, I did, Parker." He's like, "Oh, like my bad." He apologized real quick, and then after PE, he calls me while we're changing. He's like, "Rudy, can you come over here? I need to talk to you." And he's like, "Listen, Rudy," he's like, "I want to talk to you." He's like, "I do want to apologize for about yelling at you, and I didn't know Mr. Washington told you to go over there." But he's like, "I'm frustrated at you." He's like, "The whole year you've been slacking," and he's like, "You have a lot of athletic capability." He's like, "You're 13 years old and you could finish a mile within under 7 minutes." He's like, "You could play basketball, soccer." He's like, "Any one of these sports." He's like, "You're good at it." And he said, "You're throwing it all away, and that's making me mad." He's like, "It's getting me frustrated to see that you're throwing away a talent that a lot of people don't have and will never have the capability to have, just to fit in with these kids, just to fit in with some other guys, just to be cool, that you're giving this up." And he's like, "I don't like seeing that, and I don't want to see you doing that." It's like, he's like, "And I'm meaning what I say." Like, I don't remember everything, but he's like, I want you to know I mean what I say, because He's like, I'm not gonna, he's like, and the reason why I'm gonna know, he's like, because I'm not gonna call your friends in here and tell them the same thing. I'm not gonna ever call any of your friends in here and tell them what I'm telling you. He's like, so I hope that, you know, you get your stuff together and, you know, you start doing good in PE again. You have a lot of athletic talent and don't throw that away. He's like, I just know that I mean this and I'm serious when I'm telling you this. And, you know, and for the first time in my life, you know, I never had a man, you know, pull me aside and told me something like that. I never heard that type of word. I never heard someone just keep it real with me and, you know, tell me, you know, that I have some capability, some talent to do something. And, you know, and I remember after PE when I came out and we are going to our next class, some of the homies were like, hey, what did Parker want? What did he tell you? And I told them what he said, you know, and they were like, oh, that fool's bullshitting and everything. I was like, yeah, I know, but he said, you know, that he's serious because he'll never call any of you guys in the office and tell you the same thing. You know, I told him what he said, and, you know, they were like, oh shit, like, as middle school 13 years old kids, they're like, oh, like, yeah, you know, like, I told him, you know, he said he meant that he ain't never gonna call you guys in the office and tell you the same thing. And so, you know, for that first time in my life, you know, I analyzed at a 13 years old kid. I thought about what Mr. Parker said. And after that, I believe like right the next day, possibly, you know, I went, we were doing the Olympic style uh, PE, and I went and I got a new team and I stopped messing around. And we killed it. I remember we probably was beating everybody, but for the first time in my life, I understood that, you know, like Sonny said, you know, a waste of talent in Bronx Tale, you know, a waste of talent is one of the saddest things in life. And that's a true thing. Never be afraid of your talent. Never be afraid of your skill. You should be, if not everyone has their own skill and talent in life. And whatever you find it, be sure to grab a hold of it and elevate it and succeed in it. And you know, do and go out and be unique in your talent. Even if someone's doing the same thing, well, be more unique about it than the next person. Never care about what anybody else is doing or what anybody else is saying because it's you that you're giving up on yourself. You're giving up on your own capabilities and possibly your own dreams and goals in life. And for the first time, I realized that. For the first time in my life, I had a man tell me something that was deep. Pull me aside and told me that I had the capabilities to do something if I put my effort and mind to it. And that's something that I'll never forget. And that's something that always carried on with me. And after that, like I started doing good in PE. But at my middle school at the time, my PE, they used to give out trophies at the end of the year of like kids who, you know, who tried the best, kids who did the best, you know. And I remember Coach Parker calling up all these kids. It's from every PE. Like he's calling up these kids saying, you know, best smile, best this, most blah blah blah. And he's calling up all these kids. And then at the last one, he's like, I'm gonna you know, give this one out to someone who he had a real up and down year, and and you know, he tried though. He always tried. And but at first I thought he was talking about me, but then the way he was saying, I was like, nah, that ain't me. But it wasn't me. You know, it was some kid who, you know, put hard work over talent. A kid who never gave up and they're trying to, you know, make the mile run, trying to play football. You know, who put effort into PE, whether if he lacked talent, he put effort into it. And that, and I'll just never forget that because, uh, you know, I learned something right there. I really did. I learned, you know, that everything I just said, I just learned like, man, like it kind of bummed me out that I didn't get a trophy, and I knew how good that I was and the capability that I had, and it just learned ever since then in PE, like I was killing it. I never, you know, played around in PE again, and so, you know, for me, you know, that's the reason why later on in life I joined martial arts and stuff. But That's just something that I wanted to share. Something that if anybody ever told you anything in life and pulled you aside, anything that you ever gave up in life, a talent that you're not working at that you want to have in life, it's it's something that you want to achieve in. And that's just a story that I wanted to share just from a Chicano kid that I was. Peace out. Oh yeah, you know what? Uh, I don't know if any of you guys who know who Loked Out TV is. Uh, he is a white boy from Atlanta who's a part of the South Side organization of Atlanta, and me and him did an interview. I did it on his Instagram. So if you got Loked Out TV on Instagram, or if you don't, go check him out. You can check the interview out. But I think he puts up his interview on the YouTube channel, and we did it last night, so it's probably gonna be a few days or so till he puts it out on his YouTube channel. But you could go check that out in days time. If y'all remember, I'll mention it again, and I'll mention it in my next video if it's out. But yeah, I'm out. I did a dialogue with Loked Out TV, so shout out to him. Maybe we do one again. But other than that, I just wanted to share that story in life as the Chicano kid that I was. Peace.